She fell victim to a so-called catfishing scam.
She was leaving me for a better, richer man.
Using a fake profile.
You don't think that I think that you're taller, better looking. Very much better looking that day.
I was never going to leave you guys.
I think she felt more than she's letting on.
She was done with us, and she can't admit it now.
So, what we're going to discuss today is about the catfishing scandal of Meri Brown. Now, Meri's catfishing occurred in 2015. Now, you may think that that happened a long time ago, but every now and then something pops back up to remind us of the scandal. And in this case, it popped up again in 2023 because of one of the Brown children, Mykelti, who made some shocking revelations about Meri's time during the catfishing. So today, we're going to discuss it all, the new revelations by Mykelti and even Tony. Let's go over some of the alleged voicemails and written notes during Meri and the catfish's time together, and then I want you to decide once and for all if you believe that Meri decided that she was or was never going to leave Cody once and for all, because two people have two vastly different opinions about what was or wasn't going to happen. So let's start from the beginning. And to do that, I think it's best to start by talking about what was going on behind the scenes during the time that Meri started to seek emotional comfort, friendship, whatever you want to call it, from the opposite sex. Now, according to Meri, her openness to have more online friends started after news broke about her divorce. Now, as you guys remember, the reason that Meri officially and legally divorced Cody in September of 2014 was so that Cody could adopt Robin's kids. Or at least that's what we were told.
I just had an appointment with the lawyer. I was talking to him about legal divorce. It was about that time that the legal divorce between Cody and I had been made public. And throughout that month, all of us were getting bombarded with questions of what's going on. You know, did Meri divorce Cody? Why did Meri divorce Cody? And lots and lots and lots of comments to me cheering me on that I had finally left him.
And we'll get back to that topic in a little while, but for now, Meri said she was in a vulnerable state and sought relationships outside of her family.
I just kind of got into this vulnerable state where I was open to friendships and relationships outside of my family.
And the person that she met and believed that she was talking to was a man who went by the name Sam Cooper. Now, according to Meri, Sam made her laugh, and they had a good time together online. And it slowly went from just an online relationship to where they started talking to each other over the phone. Sam Cooper was tall. Sam Cooper was funny. Sam Cooper was handsome. And Sam Cooper wanted to be with Meri. And it was also during this time that Meri started to become distant with her family, and she seemed emotionally checked out to them, barely being at functions, barely participating in family events.
She was so distant. She would show up at family gatherings and she would sit in the background and then she would disappear as soon as the main event was over. I mean, she just was so distant.
And at some point in Sam and Meri's friendship, the relationship turned more serious. And as Cody has defined in the past, it went to some flirtation.
And even if flirting and even if deep feelings, it was all just infatuation.
Now, one of the alleged notes supposedly written by Meri to Sam and later released by the Catfish said this: "Sitting here in class thinking of you. loving you, needing you. Grateful always for your love, Sam. You were amazing. I don't know what I did to deserve you. I look forward to each day of having another day of your love. Thank you for being so kind and loving to me today. I'm sorry it has been a rough day for me. I really appreciate your support. Thank you for loving me. I hope I can show you as much love and kindness as you show me. I hope I can earn all of your love, all of your heart, all of your trust. I am yours, my Samuel. So this Sam Cooper actually has an online bio, and I can only imagine and presume that they were some of the things that he probably told Mary about himself and his life, which, after you read this, there's no way that you could tell me that Sam sounds maybe too good to be true. Sam Cooper, dad of 5 beautiful adopted kids, Heston and Amp, Alex, my twin boys, and my daughter, Peace and Sky. Dad of 2 angels, babies in heaven, Ryan and Talon, divorced, semi-retired app developer, business partner, commercial real estate investor, vegan, lifelong Catholic, voting independent party member, guitar-playing singer who owns a dog and 3 cats. And this part seems to have been added recently, okay? We live in beautiful Denver, Colorado, but riding out the global COVID pandemic in Hawaii. Mary supposedly wanted to meet Sam, but the meetings would keep getting pushed back until finally, after persistence, Sam finally agreed to meet up with Mary one day, and the meeting place, the meeting destination, was Disneyland. But guess what happened? On the day she was supposed to finally meet Sam, Mary ended up being greeted by another person, a woman who introduced herself as Lindsay, who she said she was Sam's assistant. So Mary and Lindsay instead spent the day together at Disneyland, and it was after this event that Mary, not too long after this, discovered that her Sam, the person that she spent close to a year talking to long distance, was actually not real. In fact, Sam wasn't even a man. Sam was actually a woman who allegedly went by the name Jackie Overton. Now, once Jackie had been outed, she allegedly leaked a lot of photos and over 200 voicemails that were exchanged between the two. So here it is. Now Mary's catfishing information was out in the public. It was a huge story at the time. And man, what timing, because it was only 3 weeks later that the Browns filmed their tell-all to wrap up the current season. So during the tell-all interview, the news was fresh to Cody and the rest of the wives, as they had only learned about the catfishing scandal less than 3 weeks prior.
So when did you find out, Cody?
Not until just 3 weeks ago.
Now here's where the story gets a little murky, because Mary claims that she never planned on leaving the family or leaving Cody for Sam, or who she thought was Sam.
Well, he thought you were leaving him for another person.
Right, he did. Absolutely. And I get that. I wasn't leaving. Did I start talking to this person? Absolutely, I did. Did I think that I was talking to a friend? Absolutely. Literally was not just, okay, well, I'm going to meet some dude online and fall in love and want to leave my family.
But in my opinion, Mary already had egg on her face. So why in her right mind would she admit to that anyway? Yeah, Cody, I did leave. I left you for a catfish. Oops. Just joking. Just kidding. I'm going to come back. Like I'm telling you guys, the story, in my opinion, if we are to take Mary's story as face value, it just doesn't add up. And I think there is so much more to the story. And supposedly, so do some in the Brown family. Case in point, McKelty and Tony. Now, Tony, who's McKelty's husband, said recently in an online video that he believes that Mary might have followed through and left the marriage if Sam had been the real deal. If Sam was not a catfish. And not only that, but McKelty basically alleged and intimated that Leon, who was known as Mariah at that time, heard Mary and Sam allegedly having phone sex over the phone. McKelty was quoted as saying, Mariah heard them on the phone having intimate conversations over the phone. And if you're sexting or verbal sexting or whatever, that's cheating. That's still cheating. So, which one is it? Was Mary planning on leaving with Sam? If Sam had been real, would she have left Cody for good? Or do you believe that Mary never had any intentions of leaving Cody? Because here's what I think. And here's what makes the most sense to me. I want to go back to the start of the catfishing, the start of Mary's vulnerability. What was happening in her life that she felt she needed to turn into the arms, emotional or not, of another man? Let's go back to that.
It was about that time that the legal divorce between Cody and I had been made public. And throughout that month, all of us were getting bombarded with questions of what's going on. You know, did Mary divorce Cody? Why did Mary divorce Cody? And lots and lots and lots of comments to me, cheering me on that I had finally left him.
B, and this is just my guess, you guys, this is just my speculation, could it be that Mary was resentful that she had to divorce Cody? Maybe Mary actually didn't want to divorce Cody.
And I just wanted to let you know that I am divorcing Cody legally so that Robin can marry him and then adopt the kids.
Maybe the idea didn't even originate with Mary. That idea that she came up with on her own about divorcing Cody, maybe that idea originated with Cody.
There are 3 major walls in order for Cody to adopt Nate and Aurora Mariana. One of them is he and I being legally married, and Mary has taken care of that wall.
I father these children in every way now. I am dad, and yet there's no way for me to protect that relationship. And so with Mary offering this up, we're actually able to start that process. Here we go. Now I can actually punch. Now I've got my hands free to fight for him.
Okay.
See you.
I love you. Our next step is for Robin and I to talk to Janelle and Christine and let them know what is going on.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to take this. I'll be honest, I don't expect them to take it well. That it's just procedural. It's something that we're doing as a procedure so that we can bring her kids in the family so they don't feel like they're separate by their name.
Because to me, that would explain Mary's bitterness and her resentment towards him. And if not that, maybe they really had planned on getting divorced legitimately, but still holding on to the Sister Wives paycheck so that it could appear like she was still his quote-unquote wife. I mean, here's the part that really gets me. Cody basically admitted that there was something very specific that he did in their relationship that pushed Mary into the arms of another.
You know, and frankly, there were some mistakes that I made very specifically in our relationship. And it was almost like a perfect storm. And so she's in a lonely and vulnerable spot.
So I could be wrong, but to me, the perfect storm that he's talking about, could that be the whole legal divorce issue? I mean, I think Mary was really struggling with that. Did you see her when she was signing the divorce paperwork? She was crying. I mean, I know that it sounds noble because she wanted to do the right thing and do the divorce for Robin's kids, but could there have been more to the story? Could there have been more to it? Because during this time, according to Cody, things were really, not just really, extremely bad between them at the time.
Last summer was also miserable for me. It was miserable for Robin. It was a hard experience, what happened here. It was hell for Mary.
Mom and I got so bad about the past that we finally got so angry. We were just we're just machine gunning each other with what you did to me, what you did to me, what you did to me. To the point where that's so bad, you're just going to say goodbye to each other forever. And I think I was angry at times, but I kind of felt like I was the catalyst in it. Her and I were doing so poorly. She got lonely. She started to just make friends.
So here's what I think it is. I think Meri was angry. I think Meri was resentful of Cody for having to keep this secret. And this is my conspiracy speculation, of course, but come on, guys. There's no way in hell that the other wives would have agreed to allow Meri to divorce Cody so that Robin could marry him if either Cody and Robin had been involved in the initial idea. The only way that that would fly is that that decision and that idea came solely from Meri.
I'll be honest, I don't expect them to take it well.
I'm not going to comment on it. That's all I'm going to say. All right, thanks.
And I really do believe, my guess, my speculation is that Cody went to Meri by herself alone. Remember, they're big into the little secrets between the two of them. And I bet that that's something that they kept between each other. And maybe that's something that Robin didn't even know about. Maybe that is partly why she was resentful about the whole thing. And on that part, if my theory has any truth to it, I don't blame Meri at all for being angry. And I don't blame her for wanting to leave Cody, because I think we all knew at that point, even the sister wives knew, and Meri probably or eventually realized or figured it out, that even if Cody was telling Meri that the divorce was only on paper and that it was only for the good of Robin's kids for the adoption, I think in Meri's heart, as well as the rest of all of us, know that there was more to that than just a legal marriage for the kids. I'm sorry, but that's what I think.
I'm worried that somehow this will mean that you somehow start favoring Robin, or that the balance of...
Then I'm going to ride off with her into the sunset.
I worry that it changes the dynamic.
So that is my theory number one. That the catalyst to Meri's vulnerable state was probably about the legal divorce and keeping the secret that it was actually Cody's idea to the divorce, and that she had to keep it from everyone. And my second theory has to deal with the whole he said, she said, about if Meri actually was planning on leaving Cody for Sam, or if she wasn't. Because according to Meri, she never planned to leave.
Well, he thought you were leaving him for another person.
Right, he did. Absolutely. And I get that. I wasn't leaving.
She was leaving my ass because she was like, I'm done with this. I am done with you. I am done. She made it clear to everybody that she was getting out of there.
So to leave or not to leave, that is the question. Now, according to Meri, Meri knew early on, very early on, that something was not right with Sam.
I talked to him for quite a while. But it was early on that I started seeing cracks in his story and things were not making sense.
And also, she said that she was scared and was basically victimized from early on, that she never intended on leaving and stayed away because she was scared.
And he started pushing more and more for a more serious relationship at the same time as subtle threats. For a more serious relationship at the same time as subtle threats of a friend of his and what she could do, and as far as being a self-proclaimed hacker.
But this is the part that never made sense to me. The whole Meri is only doing certain things because she was forced to do them. I mean, first, Meri claimed that she basically saw red flags early on, and that early on, Sam was starting to make subtle threats. And if you really, indeed, if that's the case, if that really is indeed the case, then why would you keep pushing your only daughter to meet a guy who you believe is dangerous?
Even toward the end of the summer, she would say stuff like, I wish you could just appreciate our relationship. She spent the entire summer trying to convince me to like this person that I knew was not a good person.
And not only that, but Leon, then known as Mariah, also warned her mom that she was being catfished, and Meri basically ignored her warnings.
I spent the entire summer telling her that she was being catfished, and she wouldn't listen to me.
Now, this doesn't sound like someone who knew early on that she was being catfished and blackmailed with the information. It sounds like Mary really believed Sam was real, and she was already pissed at Cody. And I think that she believes she found a better man.
Because we rallied, we circled the wagons as a family to protect her when she realized that she'd been duped. She was deceived. She was leaving. She found something better. She was leaving me for a better, richer man.
Now remember, Mary was adamant that she never planned on leaving.
And I pulled the kids together. Logan, Aspen, Mariah, Madison, McKelty. And I just said, I just wanted to let you guys know, no matter what you've heard, no matter what's out there, I was never going to leave you guys.
I know you guys remember Mary's ominous warning to her family.
Don't be surprised if I just am gone. Well, you gotta at least it's like a warning.
Now, I really do believe Mary was ready to go. She was ready to leave. And you can hear the contempt in her voice, and rightfully so, of how much better Sam was than Cody.
If I were to compare you, you win on all counts. You win on all levels. Now I'm pissed. You don't think that I think that you beat out? You don't think that I think that you're taller, better looking? Very much better looking, by the way. Kinder, sweeter. You care about me. You want me. You say that you're willing to fight for me. You say all these things about love and affection and passion. So yeah, if I were to compare you, you win all the time. But that was not a comparison. It was, I know the pain of that.
So you guys, what do you think about my crazy tinfoil hat theory about Mary's catfishing situation? And also, you have some of the history of all of the catfishing scandal. So who knows, you guys, maybe more of the kids will talk and maybe more information will come out in the future. Now, if you guys have some thoughts and opinions on it, you already know. I want to hear your thoughts. And if this video gets a certain number of likes, I will definitely want to do a follow-up live call-in show to hear your thoughts and your opinions about the whole thing.